All right, you've been talking to somebody for a while, and this happens to everyone, but it's still really awkward. And that is there's a lull in conversation, and it seems like forever, but it's really only a few seconds. But you're like, oh no, what do I say now? And so you get all tense and nervous, and you both are tense and nervous, and you're like, nothing's coming out. All right, so plan on this. Plan ahead of time on this happening. Because say it's a first date, say it's going out for coffee with somebody you don't know very well. It's going to happen because you don't know a lot about each other. So it's hard once you've talked about work, school, family, vacations, sporting events, whatever it is that you normally talk about. That's all exhausted. So now what? All right, I always say ask people questions, but you might say, well, I've done that and I can't think of any more questions. Okay, here's another way to get somebody talking, and it will start a conversation that will last for a while, and that is a problem that you could help them with. Everybody's got problems in some area, whether it's work or school or a family issue, something. You could offer some advice or ways they might solve that problem. Even if they're wrong, it doesn't matter. They could come back and say, well, I don't think that's a good idea, but maybe this would work. And you go back and forth with that problem. And you could say, well, I don't know of any problem. They don't have a problem. Okay, but what if you have a problem that you could ask this person about? Like, I'm really having a hard time with my boss at work. And here's the situation without being too gossipy or letting on too much information. You don't know who they know, and on and on. But you could say, well, my boss is a little bit controlling. Or I have this coworker that's really getting on my nerves. Don't mention names. But I have this coworker. I can't work with this person. What would you do? And people love to feel like they're helping other people. So they'd be like, okay, well, I would do this. And why don't you say that? And then you'd say, well, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll try. You see, and you could go on for an hour or more with that. And then they could relay some story about how they had a similar problem at a job they had years ago. You see where this is going? It's going in a good place because not only are you helping them or they're helping you, but you're getting to know this person. And then, so you not only have more conversation for that moment, but also for the next time you see them. Then it's not like, okay, now what do we talk about? The next time you see them, you could say, well, oh yeah, what happened with that coworker? And there you go. It starts all over again, and you have more to say. So it's a way to get them to open up without sounding like you're interrogating, like, where did you go to school? What do you do? Where do you want to go on vacation? What do you want to do in 5 years? You see, you don't sound like, oh, it's a job interview. Instead, you're coming across as trying to help. And also, you're getting their opinions. And people love not only to help people, but to give their opinions. So the next time you have a lull in conversation, try this. And also, think of things ahead of time that you could talk about. Because if you have this list in your head, it's going to be a lot easier once the lull happens. And don't get all flustered because it will happen.